If your whole company focuses on one KPI, your marketing will eventually stall because different intentions in marketing require different scoreboard. One scoreboard creates one behavior. And if that scoreboard is ROAS, you will optimize into the bottom of the funnel forever, which will stall your growth. Here's a simple system I want you to steal. 3 KPI goals scoreboards. Each is based on the intention of your marketing. The first scoreboard, cold traffic prospecting. The North Star KPI there is first click attribution because you're looking at what starts the customer journey and does it generate revenue, which perfectly aligns to the intention of cold traffic prospecting. The second scoreboard is your new customer acquisition scoreboard. For that, we want to use the new customer acquisition costs. Because at the end of the day, you got to pay less to acquire new customers than what they're going to eventually generate in revenue, ideally as fast as possible. And by isolating the performance of new customers versus repeat, you get a clear scoreboard to see how you're actually doing there, rather than piling all the results together, which is what Meta does. The third scoreboard is LTV expansion, where you take a constrained time period of clicks, measure the revenue during the click, and the future revenue, and cohort that back and see how profitable you are, because that can unlock wildly profitable channels that look like crap, frankly, when you look at them from a traditional short time window method. If you're second guessing your ad spend, it's not you. Most smart operators aren't bad at marketing. They're just being forced to decide with biased reporting. We've created a guide to give you the clear standard for truth and a weekly method to determine scale, chill, or kill on your marketing campaigns without panic. Download the guide. Those 3 scoreboards you need to steal because they work. But also, here's why 3 scoreboards is better. Most people walk into meetings and ask, how are we doing? That's a common thing. It's understandable to want to know that. But they never define doing what. And from that meeting then becomes debates, not decisions. Because, oh, well, the ROAS is lower here because we're doing prospecting and it takes longer. Well, how much longer? What should the ROAS be? When do they buy? All the questions start coming in. This is why measure by intention changes all that. You stop using one KPI for everything. Decisions get calmer, faster, clearer, and more profitable, most importantly. That's the whole point of all. So this one scoreboard does create one behavior because optimizing by ROAS, even if your ROAS is more accurate, bottom of the funnel is always going to have a higher ROAS than top of the funnel. So you can't just have one scoreboard, or else you'll never actually get the new eyeballs in that you need to scale the ROAS at the bottom of the funnel. And what everything does in meetings is they debate the metrics instead of getting the alignment on the correct scoreboard for that intention first. That's what degenerates these meetings into mental angst. The mistake that I made was letting the stakeholders vote on the popular metric first. I mean, I've been doing this 10 years. I got to figure it out sooner or later, right? And this intention-based approach really unlocked a lot of value for our customers. So what does measure by intention mean? It means that every campaign has a job, and you define that job, and that determines the scoreboard, because otherwise you're just going to reward the bottom of the funnel retargeting loops. Which KPI should each intention care about most? New customer acquisition cares about new customer acquisition cost. Cold traffic prospecting is first click attribution ROAS. And then if you got to drive revenue no matter what, like a bottom of the funnel campaign, then ROAS is great as long as it's attributable back to click IDs. So why do people resist this? Well, it feels complex. It's not that complex once you think of it as a job to be done, but it feels complex. And they want one scoreboard, but one scoreboard creates one outcome, retargeting dominance. And that's the trap we got to escape. Just create 3 scoreboards, one for cold traffic prospecting, one for new customer acquisition, and one for customer LTV. And then when you're looking to see how that intention is performing, you go to that pinned view, because each of these views will have its own measurement strategy, its own primary and secondary KPIs, its own time windows of attribution, which then give you custom scale, chill, kill decisions. What changes happen when you adopt this? Teams stop debating and decisions speed up. And it's not who can slice and dice a report to tell their story. The reports are already ready to go. So budget allocation, which is the whole point of attribution, becomes more natural, and you scale with less anxiety because it just makes more sense. It just works better. So if you want to see how we structure these views, there's a link in the description, wickedreports.com/training, and there's an intentions lesson that kind of drives through how we do this in greater detail if this has resonated with you. So thanks for watching.